Liberals continue their ridiculous attacks on President Trump just 23 days before the election. My panel's here to weigh in on that and the infighting with the Dems. Fox News contributor, author of the new book, Follow the Money, Dan Bongino, along with host of the Leo Terrell podcast, Leo Terrell. All right, guys. Get ready. All right, so a group of these progressives are now trying to move Kamala and Joe Biden to the left, and I want to read to you what they put out after the VP debate, okay? Because they weren't happy with Kamala, and when they were talking about fracking, AOC comes out and says something like fracking is bad. Actually, that's like a little zinger to Kamala. But what they want to do is free public health care, universal child care, millions of green jobs, canceling all student debt, $15 minimum wage, shifting all money away from police departments to investments in schools and the communities. And there's a whole list, but I'll end there. So, Dan, how do you feel about the push to the left by the squad for the Democrat VP and presidential candidates?
Yeah, that agenda, that sounds like the Soviet Union. They should start singing the Soviet national anthem. I don't have a great voice. I'll leave it up to them. But listen, let's be crystal clear on this. And this is not hyperbolic. The Biden campaign for presidency is the biggest con job in the history of presidential campaigns. I'm not kidding. He's managing to lie to both sides of his side of the aisle. What he's doing, Judge, is he's telling the liberals with a wink and a nod, don't worry, I got you. I'm going to do this, 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 and this. And then he turns around, screws over the liberals, looks at the moderates in the party, and he says, don't worry, wink and a nod. I got you too. Ignore those crazy liberals. I can prove it to you. Here's a perfect example of how Biden is conning all of them, and people are starting to get hip to this, including the libs. He's telling the liberal side, don't worry, there are going to be massive tax hikes and I'm going to repeal the Trump tax cuts. The libs are like, great, more money for the government. Then he's telling the moderates, don't worry, I'm not going to hike middle-class taxes. Judge, both of those things can't be true because the Trump tax cuts cut middle-class taxes. It's not true.
Exactly. And Leo, I mean, the truth is that half the time they're not, after they say one thing and then they say another thing, then there's a third position, Leo. The third position is it's none of your business whether I want to pack the Supreme Court. And it's probably those Republicans who are asking the question. And the other one that makes me even crazier is when they say basically you don't deserve to know or it's on the ballot. I don't know if the Supreme Court judge's name is on the ballot. And you think we're stupid? Hit it, Leo.
That is a joke, Judge. You know what Joe Biden said, that he's the Democratic Party, he's in charge? Joe Biden is a figurehead. Joe Biden has no power within the Democratic Party. He's being run by the progressive. And here's the problem. Dan is absolutely right. He's afraid to open his mouth because he'll lie either way, because he's not in charge. If President Trump ever debates him again, just ask those same questions. Universal health care, free tuition, defund the police, because Joe Biden is going to alienate either side of his base. But right now, he's gotten a pass because he doesn't have to answer. He is a figurehead, nothing more, nothing less.
Well, you know, now this move toward the adding something to the 25th Amendment, Nancy Pelosi is talking about, you know, that we already have the 25th Amendment, but she wants to add a few more people who can have some say into whether or not it should be imposed, usually the cabinet, the vice president. So is she talking about Trump? Although she said she wasn't, I don't believe anything she says. Or is she talking about Biden so they can kick Biden out and get Kamala to be president? I mean, are enough people thinking about Kamala as a possible president?
You know, Judge, here's what I think. I don't... oh, sorry. Go ahead, Leo.
Go ahead, Dan.
Go ahead, Dan.
I don't want to overthink this one. This goes back to my Trump is a bull in a china shop theory. In the past, people like Pelosi would intimidate Republicans by calling them racist and stuff, and they back down. Trump changed the game. They call Trump every name in the book, and he doubles down. And I think it drives them so wild that they literally don't. It's like an extinction burst. If you studied psychology, you put quarters in the machine for a Coke. It doesn't come out, so you kick the machine as if it's going to answer you. Pelosi's kicking the Coke machine right now, thinking it's going to respond back because she doesn't know what else to do. It's an extinction burst. Right. It's almost psychopathological.
Leo, 10 seconds. Leo, I have 10 seconds. Go ahead. What do you have to say
I
about
agree.
the
And let me also
25th?
mention
Is it
this.
for
Besides
Joe?
Joe Biden being the figurehead, Pelosi's a figurehead. She's running scared because I guarantee you, in the next congressional term, she's going to be taken over by the left. That's why she's so radical. And what's going out of her mouth right now makes no sense. She is going to be replaced by the extreme left.
The two of you are geniuses tonight. Leo Terrell, Dan Bongino, thanks for being with me. All right, now, my exclusive interview with Wendy Rittenhouse, Kyle Rittenhouse's mother, is still ahead. But next, Fox Business host Lou Dobbs joins me live to talk about how the left-wing media have lost their collective minds. Back in a moment.